Hey everyone, welcome back to Shade Review. Today's video is definitely going to be a fun one because I have my guide to buying vintage Randolph Engineering sunglasses. So as you probably noticed, we kind of have a timeline going from oldest to newest right here. So of course, let's start out with the oldest frames. So this is the original military contract box that vintage Randolph sunglasses were sold in. So Randolph became a company in 1973. And their first big break was getting the military contract to make sunglasses for our armed US forces. So the Air Force would use these all the time. And this is the original box that you actually received when you got a pair of these sunglasses directly from the Department of Defense. Really, really cool. The contract and model number is actually here on the case as well as the box. And just a really, really cool pair of frames. Very minimalistic. This particular pair of frames I actually sent off to Randolph, and they actually put in brand new glass lenses for me. Really, really cool stuff here. So that's why they do have the etched Randolph logo. Typically, these would not have any lens logo on them whatsoever. The only logoing that would allow you to know these are a Randolph Engineering pair of sunglasses is in here. It says 5.5-inch Randolph Engineering USA. And then on the other side, it is actually upside down. And the reason why it's upside down on the left temple is because they actually use the exact same temple on both sides. So of course, one's going to be upside down. It makes manufacturing them much, much easier because you don't have a left and a right side. The temples are going to work universally. Typically, the lens size that was issued to US fighter pilots would be a 52mm lens size. That way it fit underneath the helmets or the headgear that the serviceman was wearing. You wanted it to be very narrow and fit. So even if they kind of looked a little weird on the airman's face, it still made sense to make it a much smaller lens size to fit underneath the visor and all that gear there. So the 52mm is kind of the standard size. However, there definitely was military issued sizes that were larger, like the 58mm size. So that's kind of the first thing. These are like hen's teeth. It's really, really hard to get a pair of these original with the box and the case and absolutely everything. They definitely probably can be findable. I've never found a pair like this ever since this one. I have found and owned some American Optical ones that come in the same box because they had to follow the same strategic instructions when issuing this military contract. So both American Optical and Randolph actually made sunglasses. And basically there's just kind of like a bidding war where companies will put in bids to try to get the contract. And for several years, Randolph won those bids. So this style is going to be from the 1970s all the way to like the early 1990s. This pair, I believe, is a 1990s pair. And unfortunately, I don't have the box or the packaging here, but here we can see it is a really good looking pair of sunglasses. And the quality here is really, really nice. They are gold plated. And we can see they have an RE logo. Now, this particular pair of sunglasses, I believe, was designed to be sold at a boutique or at a store or something like that. That's why they have the tag here. So if we can see, they have that beautiful looking American flag tag there, which is attached to the frame. And these are brand new old stock, really, really cool stuff. And they also had to have the sticker here as well. Also have to mention there is a very small RE etching on the lens. And they only did this for a couple of years, I think back in the 90s, and that's a really, really cool touch as well. You really don't see the RE etching on a lot of vintage Randolph sunglasses. It is quite rare. Now these do have the skull temples, which are very comfortable, but aren't going to fit underneath headgear quite as nicely, and these are in the larger 58mm lens size, but really, really nice stuff as well there. And these do have that old school style metal nose pad. And then as we get to the more modern ones, they actually drop that and there is no metal through the nose pad. Also with this pair, you can see that Randolph is getting kind of fancy with these beautiful acetate ear rests. They look really, really nice. And these are kind of like a Havana colorway, but they still do have the very utilitarian etching here where it's going to be upside down on one side. So they still had the exact same temples on both the left and the right side. So it's going to be upside down and it is etched. And I really do kind of like the etching. It just looks really nice. And that's going to be kind of like a telltale sign that you have a vintage pair of Randolph sunglasses. It basically means that your Randolph sunglasses are older than like the 2000s period. And speaking of early 2000s sunglasses, we have this pair of sunglasses right here. Again, new old stock, absolutely beautiful. comes in this really cool retail case. You can definitely see how it has this clear window so it would be put on display so people could see it and take a look at it. These were definitely sold at some sort of mall or store. That's what this packaging was designed for. This pair of sunglasses was produced March 9th of 2000. So these are over 25 years old, and unfortunately, I don't have the original case for them. I don't think they came with the case. I'm not entirely sure originally. I think they just came with these sunglasses only, and here we can see an absolutely beautiful pair of sunglasses. They still do have that classic 5.5-inch Randolph engineering etching, and again, it's going to be upside down on the left temple there, but we have a beautiful acetate brow bar there as well. And then here we can see they do have the completely clear nose pads. There is no metal in them, so that's going to signify that this is a 2000 and up a pair of sunglasses there. They've had these nose rests for quite a long time, but all the vintage ones definitely had that metal in them. Another thing that they added here is the Randolph engineering text that's through the clear temples, so that's for authentication purposes and a really nice touch. And the font is definitely going to change over the years, but this is basically one of the originals. But we still don't have any sort of lens logo or anything like that on this particular pair of sunglasses. Even though it did have this fancy retail packaging, in 2000 there was no lens logo. If my history is correct and these are original to the box, which I 1000% believe these are original to the box because the box completely says exactly what the particular pair of sunglasses that came with them were. But of course, when you're talking vintage, new, old stock, you never know 100%. Nothing's perfectly documented. All right, the next pair I don't have any packaging or casing on, but it is definitely something I really wanted to mention. Is a beautiful pair of sunglasses with these really nice Havana acetate temple tips as well. Again, we have the Randolph engineering etching here, and it's going to be upside down on the left side. And these have what I call the white wrap logo. So here we can see a really nice looking logo here, which is white, and it slightly kind of curves around the lenses. I've always liked this because some of their promotional photos that they've used in the past, like when I first fell in love with the brand, did have the white wraparound lens logo on them. Really, really cool stuff. And I believe these are from the early 2000s, like 2002, somewhere like that. And then we have a little bit of a jump to around 2012 here with this more newer packaging. This box says 2016 on it, but I think this came out around 2012 with this box and then this Randolph branded case as well. And then here we can see a beautiful pair of Randolph engineering aviator sunglasses, and these I would not consider to be vintage. These are definitely modern, and here with the modern we can see a different text through the bayonet temples, and then here in the inner right temple of the frames we can see instead of being etched, it is actually painted on. So it says Randolph made in USA, and it's painted on with a black paint. Then here in the inner left temple of frames, it also has etching that says aviator 23 karat gold plated there as well. These are also a really good looking pair of sunglasses, and the build quality is very, very good on these as well. In the mid 2010s is when Randolph really started stepping up their game and making some really good color combinations here and making sure that the build quality was really good and dialed in. The build quality on all these old ones are extremely good as well, but you can definitely tell that the gold plating is just better on these more modern ones. And I'm not saying the gold plating is bad on these old ones, but of course they're much older, so maybe over time they're going to get scratched up more easily, so it's hard to tell. But you know, the hinges just feel better on these newer ones than they do on the older ones, and it also seems like they have tighter tolerances as well. But again, I really don't want to downplay how good these old ones feel, especially considering the fact that some of these are really old and nobody was making anything like that back then. They basically stood alone as far as the actual quality of the frames goes, and the beautiful gold plating as well. You know, not a lot of companies were doing that. All right, so next up here we have a pair of sunglasses. I think these came out in like 2018 or 19, and this is one of my all-time favorites. It is the Randolph Engineering Aviator sunglasses with their cobalt lens. So these are a cobalt polarized mirrored lens, absolutely beautiful on face, and they have these really beautiful acetate tortoise temple tips as well with a gold impressing here on the outside temples. Just a really, really nice, and this is kind of like one of their first real luxurious pair of sunglasses as well, where the quality is just kind of second to none when it comes to made in America metal eyewear. Really high quality, beautiful pair of sunglasses, fantastic oleophobic coating, glass lenses, just really nice. Oh, and I have to apologize real fast. So in between these two sunglasses, I've actually started pressing in a RE logo here on the outside temples of the frame. So here we can see it doesn't have any RE in pressing, and then here we can see it does have an RE in pressing as well. So that changed over when Randolph redid their tooling and no longer etched the inside of the temples. So sorry, I forgot distracted and forgot to mention that, but yeah, the newer ones have the RE impressing, and then on the older ones it does not. But yeah, the Cobalt collection is really one of the best sunglasses that you can buy today. Optical clarity of these is just absolutely insane. There's so much lens technology packed into them, and then as far as the actual build quality goes, they really go above and beyond almost anything else. Just really high quality stuff. And then we can also see we do have that more modern packaging. So here we have a more modern, nice looking case, and it is a little magnetic as well. So it's gonna magnetically close versus having a button on these other ones. Also, if this newer generation came in an etched lens logo, which I personally think looks really good and very discreet as well. Just overall, really nice stuff here, and we can still see through the tortoise, it does say Randolph on that as well. And the last one I want to look at is one of their DriveWorks collection sunglasses. And these are probably one of my favorite sunglasses right now. I've been wearing them all the time ever since I've gotten them. They are absolutely beautiful. They have matte black frames, and typically I do love a gold frame. And honestly, I probably still do prefer a gold frame. I love the feel, I love the finish, but I also really do like the matte black as well. What makes these sunglasses really special is their lenses. These lenses are semi-polarized, and Randolph actually did a collaboration with Carl Zeiss to make these lenses. The quality here is absolutely fantastic. They are still a category 3 lens and are gonna let a little bit more light in than the cobalt ones are, so these are gonna be better for bright and harsh sunny days. But for kind of like an average, kind of pretty bright sunny day, I really do like these, and I love these semi-polarized properties. Being semi-polarized allows for more contrast, and it also allows for better depth perception as well. That's one of my main complaints of polarized lenses. These are a very clear lens when looking through them, almost as clear as glass, but they are significantly more lightweight. So this is kind of the future, though I'm sure Randolph is always going to produce sunglasses with all glass lenses as well. They're gonna have better clarity and scratch resistance, but these are really nice, and I've just been wearing them all the time. They're so comfortable to wear, and I really do enjoy wearing those sunglasses. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I know I did. I love collecting vintage Randolph sunglasses, and I actually do have a lot more in my collection. I just couldn't fit them on the table and didn't have time to talk about them. So if you guys do want to see a video like that, where I really go into the weeds, but this is kind of a good overall main video, I think, to kind of explain all the different kind of generations, if you will, and all the different changes for like your average beginner collector. Well, that's all I got for this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give me a big thumbs up down below, and of course, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and then you'll be notified every single time I upload a brand new video just like this one to our YouTube channel. Again, thank you so much for watching the video, and I'll catch you all in the next one.